April 6th, 2026, meeting of the Manchester by the Sea Select Board. Jeff,
Yes.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Kathy.
Here.
Ann is here.
John here.
Okay, now we will entertain public comments on non-agenda items. Can anyone see?
I don't see any hands up.
I don't see any hands, but I don't see anybody else either.
We have 7 participants.
Oh,
Anytime.
There, well, that's somewhat better.
found it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
You have the grid view or any, so if we can see if someone raises their hand.
Yeah.
It steps in.
Something.
I don't see any hands up, so. We'll move on to the chairman's report and the action items. There is no chairman's report. Are there any action items that we need to consider now? Adding to the list. Okay. The first item on the agenda is a National Grid hearing.
Open, so I move that the select board open the public hearing on the National Grid petitions. 31278906 and 31280915 to install underground conduit on Proctor Street and Bennett Street.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Anne says yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Jeff?
Yes.
Okay. Are there? We have information, yeah, okay,
Good evening.
good evening.
Ismail Miko, 44 River Street, Beverly, Massachusetts. I'm here today with National Grid to petition for the job at Bennett Street. So National Grid will trench about 148 feet from existing manhole to existing manhole to replace the conduit that is right now 1.5 inches thick, and we will change it to 2 conduits of 3 inches each, and that will be to upgrade our distribution system for the neighborhood of Bennett Street.
Any questions?
Now, there's another application for Bennett Street as well. What's going on currently?
Today I have 3.
Proctor Street.
Oh, Proctor Street rather.
Yeah, I have Bennett, Proctor, and I think Jersey Lane.
Because
Yeah.
it was made, I was made aware by one of the residents on Bennett that there's also discussion. I don't know if you talked to gas or not.
I didn't know.
Okay, because it would seem that if there's gonna be some work on the gas line on Bennett Street as well. And the question came up as to whether or not they could coordinate and do all the work at the same time as opposed to disrupting the residents twice. So, but
I agree. I can see with our gas department. I've never talked to them, but I can see with them if we can coordinate this. Do you know exactly the address around what they're gonna?
I don't know.
It's the whole street.
The whole street.
I think the gas job is,
Well, the gas and the electric
Later.
can't go in the same trench, right?
yeah, and they're late. It's much later in the,
Isn't it when they kind of redo that whole Bennett Street, like after the Tappan Street, Bennett was gonna be next and.
I don't think the gas job is.
Okay, I'm just,
Ready.
I was asked to reply.
But it's a good question.
Thank you.
It is a very good question.
He's the funny to do.
So I
But
can,
thank you. Yeah, if you could just, touch base with him.
yeah, I can touch base. Maybe we can go before them because they are redoing the entire street, so we don't disturb
Mhm.
the asphalt again. So I can check with them, of course.
Thank you. That's all I got.
Okay, the next item is after Bennett Street is Proctor Street.
For Proctor Street, National Grid will trench about 10 feet on public way, diagonal from an existing manhole 148 to an handhole located, on our customer's property. On the south side of the road, so no traffic disturbance or outage during the work. And it should take us about 1 day of job, and finally, of course, National Grid will, like Bennett Street, of course, provide police detail for the job.
Any questions?
Just on these, we received a memo from DPW today, so they had some conditions that they wanted us to put on these enhancements, but there was some mention of issues, and it wasn't really clear what the prior issues were. Can you elaborate on that, Tony?
There was some work, not on these, or actually. I think Jersey Lane, maybe. There was some work that National Grid was doing. It wasn't a road opening permit, but it did cause some traffic impacts. And so we just wanted to make sure that National Grid, prioritized notification to DPW and butters prior to mobilization.
Of course, we do, and my apologies if we didn't provide police detail for that job. Maybe they thought it was a very easy one. That happens sometimes, but for these two jobs, for sure they will be. We also have a common, not sure yet, job for Jersey Street for the next, like the next one. But this one will probably be pushed. Sorry, we just got notified on Friday that the customer might not do the job. So we might let the petition for next time.
Okay.
But to answer your question, yeah, we will make sure the traffic doesn't get impacted.
As you know, you're required to apply to the DPW for permission to open the street.
Yeah.
And you will get the conditions for returning the street to its prior condition.
Of course.
Yep. Any public questions on the public questions? All right, then I will move. Yes.
Yes,
I am new to the neighborhood and I live at 6 Bennett Street, which seemed like sort of the strike zone in the middle of what you were doing. So I'm just here to ask about the scope and the timing of this, because I have no experience.
So for Bennett Street, we will be working around from beginning of 8 to 4. So 6 you are in the middle. My apologies.
No.
Yeah.
please,
So-
ma'am, would you give us your name? You've given us your address, but
Ames,
Sarah,
6 Bennett.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Great, Sarah. So the job will take about 2 days work.
2 days.
Yeah, we will be trenching. This is Manchester, Rockport, and Gloucester. Unfortunately, they have a lot of ledge. So it will take us time to dig and trench. For the next day, during the night, of course, we do put steel plates. And the traffic will be disrupted on just one side of the road, which is, I would say, the west side of the road. You are on the east side, I see.
Yeah.
And of course, we will have police detail, and it shouldn't take more than 48 hours for the entire job to be done.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Further comments? Electronically either, okay. I move that the select board close the evidentiary portion of the hearing.
Second. Jeff,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Anne says yes.
John, yes.
I move the select board approve National Grid petitions 31278906 and 31280915 to install underground conduit on Proctor Street and Bennett Street as shown on the provided plans.
Second.
Jeff,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Anne says yes.
John, yes.
Okay.
I move the board close the public hearing.
Second.
John,
Yes.
Anne says yes. Kathy?
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Work here is done.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Next item of business is a cultural council appointment of Tracy Davis.
Tracy's here. I met with her in mid-March. Tracy's interested in joining the cultural council. She has had experience working with cultural councils as an applicant in the past. Has worked at the Wellspring House, has served on the Manchester PTO. She's recently worked with Open Door. She's been in town for 15 years. And as I mentioned before, her previous work with the Cultural Council was in collaboration with the PTO and the library.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
I just found it, saw the posting in the paper and thought this would be a nice way for me to continue to be a part of the contribute back to the community and falls into my wheelhouse. And I used to be involved with Spalding and the PTO and a number of other organizations. This is just another way to reconnect with all those entities. So that's it.
I will be presumptive and say welcome. And thank you.
Okay. I move that the board appoint Tracy Davis to the Cultural Council for a term to expire on June 30th, 2029.
Second.
Jeff,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Anne says yes.
John, yes.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you. Great.
We're getting an excellent addition to it. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is an appointment to the Council on Aging Board for Patricia Glennon.
Pat is here. I met with Pat also mid-March. She has served on the Friends of the Council on Aging. Fun fact, she signed up, she was at the coffee for the Council on Aging the first day it was offered 3 years ago. So jumped right in. She has a desire to help the seniors from a different angle compared to being on the Friends. We talked a lot about the future of the Council on Aging and the different types of programs and the importance that the department serves, especially for men who senior men and kids, intergenerational programming that can help with the senior center. And we also talked a lot about improvement related to communication, things that the Friends have had kind of an eye on for a long time, but really serves better as a position on the Council on Aging board. So very passionate about our seniors and the programs we can offer.
Do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, I just hope I can help enhance the quality of life for seniors in this town. You know, and include, you know, really encourage independence, healthy lifestyle, and get out of isolation. Socialization is so important. Isolation really harms. Socialization heals. And I know through my past being a nurse, working in home care, et cetera, to see people in isolation and what happens to them. They absolutely deteriorate, become depressed, you know, don't get dressed, don't shave, don't cut the lawn. So we, you know, as the Council on Aging matures, we need to do programs to encourage seniors, and especially men, to come.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
I'm good.
Okay. No questions? All right.
All right.
I move that the select board appoint Patricia Glennon to the Council on Aging Board for a term to expire on June 30th, 2029.
Second,
Jeff,
Yes.
Brian,
Yeah.
Kathy,
Yes.
Anne says yes.
yes.
Wow,
Wait,
two great applicants. This is
Absolutely.
really nice.
Thank you very much for stepping up.
Yes.
thank you.
And let's hope the senior center keeps moving.
I want the senior centers to stay where it is, or the future senior center to stay where it is and not float out to sea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can always put life preservers inside the door.
There you go. Creativity, love it.
Thank you. Okay, the next action item is the request to operate a beach chair rental service at Salem Beach. Well,
Yes, is
Sorry, so-
Ben and Charlie or Beckett?
My brother Charlie's at UVA, and he has like a night class. We could join on Zoom, but he can't. So it's just us. We tried to send you an email earlier today.
I
but-
got it. I
You
got
get
it.
it?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
perfect. We were worried that it said the address wasn't found, but
yep. Cheryl helped you out and forwarded it over to me. So it's Beckett and Ben?
yeah.
Okay, so they did send a PowerPoint and you've seen their business plan as an attachment to their request. Let me see if I can. Play. All right, so do you guys want to walk us through this?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Ben, this is Becky. We're two of the founding members of the Chairs Spot LLC, just started this winter. And yeah, we're just here to talk to you guys about a request for renting out chairs at Singing Beach.
Yeah, so regarding the setup, we're gonna have two members there at all times. We're gonna have a foldable table with two chairs, one for Ben and I. And we're gonna have 10 chairs at the location with the other 25 of our chairs stored in one of our vehicles. We're planning on operating from 9 to 7 on Wednesday through Sunday, starting July 17th through Labor Day. And we are planning on charging 15 days for a full day rental, $10 for a half day. And we are planning on using the square payment method. And we were planning on, if a chair goes missing, we're gonna ID the chairs, we're gonna have a number system. If a chair goes missing, then there's going to be a missing fine. And we'll do that through the square payment app. And all of this is gonna be removable by the end of the day. It's like, we're not even gonna be there. But we were just trying to make the beach experience like better for everybody. And so you don't have to lug a chair at the beach.
All right, so real quick, logistics. So in terms of insurance, compliance, licensing, tax, and then lastly, differentiating for beach staff, which is concerned with the Parks and Rec Committee. So we have quotes for commercial general liability policy. That's going to be $1 million per occurrence and then $2 million aggregate, with the town being protected as additionally insured. And then once we would get that after your approval, obviously, we would give you guys a certificate to show that you guys are additionally approved. So we already mentioned we're an LLC with Massachusetts. We have all of our internal governance, like our operating agreement in place. We maintain a federal tax ID and a sales tax ID for the state, as well as we're ready to apply for a transient vendor license again upon approval. We wanted to wait because there's a deposit necessary with the state. And then lastly, avoiding confusion with beach staff. So we're gonna have uniforms. I believe the lifeguards use red, so we'll obviously pick a different color just to make sure that we're separated. And then we can also use like direct signage saying that we're a third-party company, not directly affiliated with the town and beach staff.
So regarding the scope of this this business. It's gonna be a single approved service. And we're just gonna do chairs. We're not planning on expanding to anything else like food or merch. And there's not gonna be any permanent installations. It's gonna be very low impact. And the town is gonna like retain full flexibility and authority over this, and we're willing to negotiate. We just wanna set this up and about like the location on the beach and stuff.
And then lastly, like why we're doing this, and who the service helps. So we're both from Manchester. I think it's safe to say during the summers, like, you know, we basically grew up on the beach. And yeah, it's just always been like a special place in the town, and we just want to make that more accessible to everyone, really. So some people that's benefit, seniors and people with limited mobility is huge. If someone has to have a place to sit down or can't sit down on the ground at the beach, that's a big concern. So we have chairs there. We're going to carry them out for people. So suddenly, like, you know, we have a pretty large older population in town, and I think this could help make this beach more accessible for everybody. Then out of town visitors, so people from Boston that would have to take a chair, you know, from the train up the hill to the beach, we can sort of cut that out of their like thinking, and they can just rent a beach with us, or rent a chair with us, sorry. And then people like just like traveling light, so this is obviously a broader category, just anybody who doesn't want to carry the chair up the hill. And then obviously if people from the train aren't like sort of bogged down by carrying a chair everywhere, they can like have more of an opportunity before like their train leaving our town gets here to explore downtown and visit local shops and whatnot. So I think it's a big opportunity.
Yeah, we're open to answer any questions.
I think I'd like to hear from Cheryl.
Okay, Cheryl?
Hi, so the boys came to the Park and Rec Committee a few months ago, and the committee gave them a few pointers, and then they came back and pretty much handled all the things that we had asked of them, which, you know, was the liability, the LLC, the transient certificate, all those things. As a committee, the Park and Rec Committee does believe that this is a service that would be good for our customers. The staff does find a lot at the beach that people will sometimes buy chairs and then just throw them away at the end of the day, throw them in the dumpster, because they'd rather buy a chair and throw it away than not have a chair at the beach. And I think that's, you know, the people coming on the train who don't want to lug it on the train. And that's, you know, not a great thing for sustainability and trash and whatnot. But I think I don't, you know, this is probably not going to be something that's perfect from the start. We'll have lots of tweaks along the way, but where it is two resident young men who did a great job with their presentation, the Park and Rec Committee did vote that we would like to give them this chance as long as they had everything else that they needed in place, and as long as the board approves.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's great to hear that you deliver. Now, you're going to deliver to a spot on the beach. I understand the style. Okay, so in other words, if I want to sit 25 yards over there, you'll be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Question, so about how many square feet are you going to occupy on the beach? I know the beach is big.
Yeah, that's a hard one. So we haven't
10 chairs.
purchased a table yet, but the idea is that we could store the chairs like under the table.
Yeah,
So we could definitely like cut down our space a lot. And the idea was just to be like really compact and like just be at the entrance, but be like a very like small part. I don't know what the dimensions would like look like, because we obviously don't have a table yet, but very small.
okay. And you've discussed with Cheryl about where, I mean, all of us here know what Singing Beach entrance looks. This is on the beach, I
Yeah, so we
assume.
were thinking, where the tent is in the summer.
For the people to check in, yes.
Yeah, so there's like a rock, like shelf there.
Yeah.
And we were thinking that as you go through the entrance to the beach, right to the left, like tucked
At the bottom of that revetment.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Actually, my question was location, so I guess we already covered that. I just want to say you guys did a great presentation, so.
Thank you.
I would agree, and you touched on the maybe helping out the local.
Yeah.
businesses by not dragging stuff around, and that's something that we're really tuned to, so great job, and I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, I agree. Great presentation. I especially like the fact that you're just focusing on the chairs, right? And seeing how well that works. Because when I saw the collateral at first, I thought you were doing umbrellas and chairs, and I'm like, umbrellas can be a real sticky thing. So you got a good plan, and I wish you the best. Good luck.
Will you, if you don't get all of the chairs back, will you patrol the beach and?
Yeah, that's the plan. So we looked into like glow in the dark spray paint so we could locate them very easily. We're closing at 7, so that gives people a lot of time to get them back to us. But obviously, they try to leave them on the beach or whatnot. They're very visible.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, we're not going to leave if there's a chair that we haven't found yet.
Mhm.
We're just gonna we'll search for it.
You use electronic tags on them?
I think
That's a little like
expensive.
Okay.
expensive, yeah, but we have a numbering system, so we know which one's missing,
Okay,
and then we have the glow in the dark. So hopefully that'll be enough.
Okay. yes.
That's me.
Yep.
I move the select board approve the request from Ben Rubens, Charlie Rubens, and Beckett Gibbons, the Chair Stop LLC, to operate a beach chair rental service at Singing Beach to be conducted from Wednesday through Sunday between the hours of 9 and 7 from June 17th to September 7th, 2026.
The, just, you said June or
Yeah.
July?
You said
June
July.
17th.
June
Okay.
17th.
June 17th, yeah.
Second.
So,
Yes.
Anne says yes, Kathy?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Jeff?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Look
Congratulations.
forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Everyone.
Yeah, very good.
I hit the. Please get it, Miss.
Next item on the agenda is a request to operate a mobile sauna in the White Beach parking lot on April 18th. And Tony.
This similar, I don't know, you might recall, we had another sauna vendor make a similar request and at White Beach, so it's the same concept, different vendor, same conditions. It's a 1-day event. The other vendors seem to have a good experience and good visitorship. So we're comfortable with moving forward with the same conditions that we had on the last one. I do think that, we've had 2 kind of individual companies with 1-day requests. I think that's okay, the way we're going now. We're not getting into the busier season. However, I do think that if this is something that we are going to be offering on a more consistent basis, it'll cause for a larger discussion. But at the moment right now, I think this is fine to move
One a
forward.
month is not going.
No, that's not a,
Right, well,
Off season.
one a month in the off season, right?
Yeah.
I think that my only question was, 2 questions. One, I didn't get any feedback from the last, event we had at mid-March, and that seemed to go well. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, actually, they reached out and said they had many people came by and utilized the service, and actually they requested for another day that they could go out again. But we opted not to go down that road, especially since Mobile Sauna is interested in doing a day. We want to make sure we're fair, to both vendors.
So I think, my other question was just, how did Ocean Street do over the winter? I mean, I do drive by it and it looked a little not great, like last week, and I'm just wondering if we've checked the conditions of the parking area to make sure that it'd be in good shape for the sauna team when they show up.
I think the parking area would be fine for this, but yes, it definitely took.
Still a little sad.
Definitely took some damage, or especially that big storm that we had. but DPW is already on top of, they have to make those repairs anyways, regardless of this.
Yeah, you ready?
Um,
I move,
Do you want to, do
oh,
you want to say anything, or shall we just approve it?
Well, I'd love to introduce myself. I'm Kathleen. I'm a Manchester resident, so I've been operating Let's Sauna with a partner for the last year and a half. We've had wonderful success. We've done some events in Manchester on private property with people dipping at Black Beach, and we've always wanted to be at White Beach. So this would be a great opportunity to do that. We are fully off season. Seasonal. So we are getting ready to shut down, you know, at the beginning of May. So yeah, we'd love to get a White Beach day in before that happens.
Yeah, the saunas tend to be off-season relative to the summer, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
All right, so that fits very well with what's going on.
Right, right. So we're like October to end of April.
Perfect.
Yep.
I move the select board approve the request from Kathleen Johnson, Let's Sauna LLC to use the use of one parking space at White Beach for the placement of a mobile sauna unit on April 18th, 2026 from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Second.
Dawn?
Yes.
Yes. Kathy?
Yes,
Brian?
Yes.
And Jeff? Thank you.
thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't let it sink in the sand.
We won't.
Debbie will reach out to you
Okay,
to fill out all those necessary paperwork.
great. Thank you.
The next item is the request to fly the Forster flag on the town flagpole on April 18th, to April 25th from the Manchester by the Sea Museum. Mommy, do you have anything to say on this?
I think that'd probably be Matt who's sitting up there,
Yeah, I'm just,
but
so far we've had Tony generally
yeah, he has.
introduce things to us.
This request, we actually did fly the Forester flag last year. It was in the month of July. This request has changed a little bit, and I'm sure, is it Matt, did you say?
Yes.
Matt will explain. So it is something that we've done in the past, and but this is moving it up in the schedule.
We would like to move it up in the schedule because the Forester flag is the central
Excuse
focus.
me, before you get much
Okay.
further, your name and address, please.
Matthew Genta, 17 Mascanoma. And I'm on the board, on one of the trustees at the Manchester by the Sea Museum. And the Forester flag is the central focus of our summer exhibit, which will be Manchester's 250 revolution, you know, our impact on the American Revolution. And, you know, I'm proud to say that the first flag in America to have 13 stripes was created here in Manchester, and that's the Forester flag. And so we have a replica of that we flew last year on the July 4th, and we would like to do it for the date we'd like to do it this year is Patriots Day. I think we also would like to do it on July 4th, but I guess we'll come back since that's not part of the
It
question
wasn't,
tonight.
yeah, let's not.
Because on the 4th, it's also gonna be the focus of our float in the 4th of July parade. But that's why we'd like to fly it, because according to history, the militia that left Manchester on Patriots Day in 1775 carried the flag to the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Or they never made it there, but they got.
They
I think
tried.
they ended up at a pub in Medford, but they made it close to the west.
I thought it was Al.
That's why we'd like to fly it for those days.
I might make a comment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the request here is to go from April 18th to 25th, and I think this flag has to be distinguished because it has a historical significance to the town and is a civic commemoration. It is not an advocacy flag in any way. It is purely is related to the history of this town and more broadly to the history of the nation. And so a week was kind of, the board decided maybe a week was a good idea, put it up that Saturday before Patriots Day and take it down the following Saturday. So just looking at this flag a little bit differently from other flags that might get flown. So,
I think that, want to call it, this is the classic example of a commemorative flag, and that's what that
It is.
flagpole is for.
So I just have I do think, whenever we talk about raising a flag, I talk about the same thing, so I apologize, I'm gonna repeat myself here. We need to better figure out the operations around managing that flagpole. So we've had a request for, a week, a couple of weeks ago, we narrowed it down to 1 day. Now we have another week, sounds like we're leaning towards approving that whole week. There's been discussion about a duplicate raising, okay? So that could come up with other flags as well. And I just think we need to get ahead of this, okay? We need some,
We need a policy.
yeah.
well, an update to our policy
Yeah.
now that we know more about what it takes to host, that additional flagpole. I believe I have asked Tony to help us understand what is our capacity for flag raising, I imagine our resources, can't be putting up a new flag every day. We probably have some type of constraint. I have no idea what that is, but I think I like to see the pole getting used. I think it's fantastic. But I do think we need to set some guidelines so that we make sure everyone who comes forward with a request is treated fairly. And we are making decisions just based on our operational policy. That's my statement.
I guess my question is, who's going to bell the cat?
But put together like a policy paragraph. I volunteer to put something together that would be a separate paragraph that would identify flags that would be flown for historic or civic commemorative purposes. Put something together so that it's in a different category from virtually all the other flags that might fly on there, with the exception of, course, the American flag, the standard. So we can do that.
If you would put together something.
Sure. And put that together maybe within the month.
Great. Okay, I move that the select board approves a request from the Manchester by the Sea Museum to fly a replica of the Forster flag in commemoration of Patriots' Day on the town flagpole from April 18th to April 25th, and to sign a proclamation to that effect.
Second,
Jeff,
yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Catherine.
Yes.
Yep,
John says yes.
great.
Thank you.
Great. And this flag will fly. Is this what I hear?
This flag.
One fly. Okay.
Okay, just if you could get, while we're working on a policy about flags, you also get a request in for the time around July 4th that you're gonna have it.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's our action items. The next thing we have is liaison updates. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah,
I don't have a whole lot, because there's a lot of what's been going on at the planning board, but, they did look at a plan for a possible new building at Crocker's Boatyard. It's kind of in its infancy, but let's see what happens. He's kind of been looking for their input on it, so, anything else we've basically covered. They're starting, they had a meeting with Karen Sonnenberg on our housing needs assessment and plan, which I guess has to come up every 5 years. So they're kicking that off now for the state, working on goals and strategies for that. They plan to have a couple of public workshops and input from us and we'll see a final draft. It's probably 10 months away or something. It's a ways away, but they're just starting that now, so. Another thing that came up was, I guess we're gonna need an energy storage bylaw, which, do you know anything about this?
Energy storage?
Heard of, in my regional meetings with other communities about different types of bylaws that towns are starting to look at. And legislation that's being pushed at the state to try to create some uniformity around how energy storage is handled at the local level.
Yeah, so it'd be like battery type storage, like, I
Right.
know you see some of these big trailers and
Right.
things like that, so for solar and whatnot. So I guess that's something they're gonna work on in the future coming up.
Anything from the tech school?
No, I have a meeting there Thursday and the Harbor Advisory meets on Wednesdays.
Parks and Rec, trying to find it. Easter egg hunt was successful. Easter bunny showed up. It was hijacked. Kidnapped and returned without being paid. The pickleball court delayed opening until all the sound absorbing panels will be installed. They were.
They gotta get repaired.
They're waiting for the covers to come in. They could be up and installed tomorrow, weather dependent.
How old are those?
They're
Not old.
3 years. This is about third year.
I don't think it's even.
I don't even think it's three.
Well, we're only into our third season.
Third
Oh,
season
heading
of
into it, yeah.
pickleball, but not.
Yeah, only so,
How, I think that,
No, we
2 years, right?
Yeah, so this is going into the third season, right? They've been up for 2 years.
Tops third season.
They're covered, I mean, it's under warranty,
good.
so it's not.
oh,
costing us
good,
anything.
yeah.
But as you're aware, there were some issues because the nets went up and that was all hands on deck at that point. So DPW, as my understanding is that should be able to complete it tomorrow, weather committee. So let's tell them that by the weekend, everything will be up and ready to go. And that's about it. That's about it.
Downtown Improvement Committee is partnering with the Harbor Master and the Harbor Advisory Committee to prepare a new visitors brochure to hand out to boaters, both at the transient docks here and at the marinas when they do transient docking there. So they'll understand what they can do when they come to Manchester. And then the Downtown Improvement Committee, a few of us had a meeting with the DPW to just give Chuck and Nate some feedback from the Pine Street, Central Street neighborhood. We had a meeting last year on that intersection, you know, how they put the rotary up at one time. So we had a neighborhood meeting, collected some feedback, but that had never really been discussed with the DPW. So that someday when they do the Bennett Street construction we were just talking about, you know, the thought is if they can do their traffic study and take in some of the feedback from the neighborhood, that will all get addressed at one time, which is probably, you know, a couple of years off at least. So, but anyway, they have the feedback. That's it.
One more thing for the Parks and Rec. 500 beach tags have already been sold, almost 500.
Not mine this morning. Yep. No, one more thing, too, sorry. Facilities Planning Committee meets on Thursday, where we're discussing again the hiring of an OPM, project manager for the DPW, public safety, buildings, you know, that whole process, trying to get the timing of bringing that person on board. That's something that the committee has been debating, when is the right time for that. So we'll have another meeting on that on Thursday. And also we'll bring them up to speed on the senior center, community center, wherever that stands as of today. That's done.
Yeah, okay, been kind of an uneventful few weeks here. DPW, as of this morning, it's been pretty quiet. They are well, more than half the meters are in. In fact, they're closer to 2/3 of the water meters have gone in, so that's pretty good. The library did meet a couple of weeks ago. They have some concerns with regard to the fact that their ADA bathroom is a separate article on the warrant, and then passed a lot of the various capital monies that have been spent on them have just been part of the broader capital budget that on a list. So they're a little worried about that, but I think it'll be all right. They have been in that position before and things have gone along okay. The Historic District Commission meets on Thursday, and the seniors, well, we're gonna find out in or whenever. That's still continuing. The questions, I think we'll.
Finance Committee finished their work, and I think the book has either been printed or is printed. The school committee is focusing heavily on the school building program, but on tomorrow they will talk about who goes where to talk about the actual school budget. The Board of Health had a meeting this morning, or parts of the Board of Health had a meeting this morning with the regional Gloucester project, and I managed to tune in for the last 10 minutes, but Tony was there.
Yeah, I'm serving on the advisory board with Peter and Wendy on behalf of Manchester, and Donna's an alternate.
Mhm.
So that was our first advisory board meeting, and we'll be meeting again next Thursday. We kind of ran out of time. We had a long discussion. We ran out of time, so we scheduled another meeting for Thursday next week to continue processing all the agenda items that we had. Really kind of getting a overview of all the different projects that fall under that agreement.
That should be interesting.
Yes.
That's, I think, the latest on the updates.
Sorry, quick question. You mentioned the FinCom books are at the printer. When are they getting mailed out? Because we've got these great public forums, coming up on the town meeting, but people don't have the books yet.
Yeah, typically they get delivered 2 weeks ahead of time, 2 weeks before town meeting. So that's the date that we've given the printer to make sure that they get to people 2 weeks prior.
So will they get there ahead of the next public forum on the town meeting?
Some people might, some people maybe not, but it'll be on the website. So we can share that, so people can get a head start look at the FinCom book.
Is it on the website right now?
It's not on yet.
So I just think if you're having a meeting tomorrow, it might be nice to, include that in the promotional messaging, because the promotional messaging went out, I think, a little bit later than you expected. It was a couple days after you thought it was posted. It didn't actually show up until Friday or something. And then, so the first meeting may not be well attended, but I think if people actually got something in their mailbox, and then they find out there's a meeting, that might incentivize more people to attend. Just a thought.
Okay, consent agenda. Is there anything that we should remove from it?
Just correct the Arbor Day proclamation.
Whereas,
Yeah, it's whereas, WEARAS, and it also refers to a tree in Nebraska.
And that's the problem. There are trees in the.
Trees are just as important in Nebraska, maybe more than in here.
A lot of trees there. All right, I move that the board approve the consent agenda.
second.
John,
Yes.
Pat says yes. Kathy,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Jeff.
Yes.
Okay, the town administrators report.
So yes, town meeting is in 4 weeks. I'll just quickly, if anyone online can see how to get to the town meeting page. If you go to Manchester .ma.us and scroll over government, town meetings and elections is in the bottom right corner. And if you scroll down here to the town meeting page, we have the public forums listed, their dates, so that I'll be doing public forums tomorrow and the following Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Those are hybrid. We'll also record them and post them online. I'll also be hosting office hours the following 3 Tuesdays. For anyone that might not be able to attend the meetings or, maybe is uncomfortable asking questions in a public forum, they can come to office hours and I can help explain whatever information related to town meeting. And then here we have links to all the other important documents. We have our budget. The annual report will get uploaded here and the finance committee report will get uploaded here. We have the CPC recommended grants, the 3 citizens petitions, the many articles that we published through the Cricket, information about the zoning articles and the town meeting warrant. The warrant's been signed by the select board and the constable and is posted. And we'll continue to update this and promote this over the next 4 weeks. Outside of town meeting, it is busy in the town hall. It always, especially with DPW, when you have the transition of seasons, it's always busy in their department, kind of wrapping up the past season and preparing for the next, getting parks and fields ready to go. Police, we're finalizing 2 new hires. In fire department, we are onboarding 4 new hires through the SAFER grant. The police chief position is posted. We received applications, have looked through those initial applications and requested those that we intend to interview to submit the questionnaire that we all talked about when we went through the process. Also, the assessor position was posted Friday as well. As you mentioned, Parks and Rec has a lot going on with selling of beach stickers and programs. We applied for community project funding through Congressman Moulton's office a couple weeks ago and got notified last week that we did not receive those or not being moved on to the next part of that process. But last week we did submit a request to Senator Markey's office of $3 million for construction funding for the future senior/community center. And we're working on an ADA bathroom grant as well with the library. The clerk's office as well is busy with parking stickers, dog licenses, election. The local election was last week to replace it for the state representative position. We hired a new van driver as well for the Council on Aging. And we have an open position in the library, a young adult librarian. It's a part-time position. If anyone knows about that, it's on the website or anyone potentially interested. We're eager to fill that position in the library, especially as we're coming to the end of the school season.
Mm-hmm. Does that require a librarian's license? That position?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I can find out, but it's everything, all qualifications that are required are listed on the job post.
Okay, fine.
Are those people quarry checked?
Yes. Yep. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, planning board's also kicked off an update project of, the housing production plan. Preparing for town meeting. ZBA and Concom starting to pick up as well with the change of the weather, a lot more permit applications coming in. We also received the sub bids we opened for the Lincoln Street Well procurement project, came in about 2 weeks ago, and we were happy to see the numbers that were submitted. Next week, we should get the general bids in and understand kind of what we're looking at for a cost on that project. That's my update.
Great.
Mhm.
Okay. I move that the select board enter into executive session pursuant to general laws, chapter 30A, section 21A6, to consider purchase, exchange, lease, or value value of real estate property at the Masonic Hall at Church Street, if the chair declares that an open meeting may have detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body and not return to open session. And I do so declare.
Second.
Jeff,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Anna says yes.
John, yes.
Okay. Turn off the recording. Close the door.